ricotta.com, here with Living Tree Community Foods, and I am preparing for you really easy, simple, and delicious ricotta cheese. This ricotta cheese is with a base of macadamia nuts, and Living Tree has really nice, sweet macadamia nuts. So I had a lot of fun creating this recipe for them. What I'm starting with here is 8 ounces. So they sell the bags in 8-ounce quantities, so it's perfect. You just buy a bag. That's 8 ounces, which is also a ½ pound, and put that into your food processor. Now the next ingredient that I'm using here, the noise in the background is my son Hodiah. We're going to get him a babysitter one of these days, but hang in there with me in the meantime. The next ingredient in this recipe is some miso. And when you're purchasing miso, you want to make sure that it's in the refrigerated section. It should be unpasteurized, raw, fresh, living miso. And mellow white miso is the one that I like to use for this recipe. I actually ran a little bit low on my mellow white, so I'm using a little bit of mellow red to go along with it. But the white has a nice light flavor, plus it's a light color, so it's going to keep our macadamia ricotta a bright white color. So the next ingredient that I'm going to use is a little bit of coconut vinegar. And the vinegar is going to give it a little bit of a tart flavor that cheeses usually have. The miso, I forgot to mention, also gives it a bit of a cheesy flavor. And it will also let you ferment this cheese if you want to. It will ferment with that miso because it's a fermented product. Okay, sweetie. Okay. So as I was saying, because the miso, Hody here, he needed some attention. He wanted to see you guys and see what we were doing, so he's joining the party. I was talking about the miso, and because it's a fermented food already, it will help to ferment this cheese. If you want to ripen it, you can actually do that by leaving it in a cheesecloth or nut milk bag in a sterile environment out of the refrigerator overnight, and that will give you a fermented cheese. But for now, I've got 1 tablespoon of the miso, and I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of this coconut vinegar. And coconut vinegar is a great amino-rich vinegar to use. It has a very nice flavor. And you can find this at Living Tree Community Foods as well. Our final ingredient is a little bit of salt. And I'll start with a 1/4 teaspoon. If we need some more, we'll taste it in a little bit and can add a bit more to it. So there's my 1/4 teaspoon of that Himalayan pink crystal salt. And actually there's one more ingredient, which is water. But we're not going to measure the water out. We just want to pour the water in until it becomes the desired consistency. And my desired consistency for this ricotta is not too thick, but not too thin. We don't want it to be runny and watery, and we don't want it to be so dense that you can stand a fork up in it. I'd like it to be somewhere in between those two, just scoopable and soft, but not runny. Okay. So what I'm going to do is start my machine, and then I'll pull out the plug here and just drizzle in water until it becomes what looks like the right consistency. Okay, so let's start the machine. Okay, that probably lasted a couple seconds for you, but over here it was 30 seconds to a minute that I was processing that, because I want to break those macadamia nuts down as far as possible. It's not going to be silky smooth. It will always have a little bit of a sandy texture to it, which is exactly what I'm looking for ricotta, because if you haven't tried ricotta, it does have a texture to it. If you have tried it, you'll notice that the macadamia nuts make a very, very similar texture. So I'm going to give this one more taste. And that's just perfect. So now if you want to ferment this, like I said, you can put it into a nut milk bag or some cheesecloth and let it be in a warm place outside of your refrigerator overnight and store it in your fridge after that. If you want to add herbs to this, you can just hand mix in some fresh chopped herbs. You can make it into a sun-dried tomato ricotta by adding some sun-dried tomatoes to it, or basil, or just have fun with it. It's a very simple, basic recipe that has a lot of flavor and is perfect for something like our focaccia bread that we made in a previous video. So I have a plate of both the flatbread and the focaccia there, and we'll just take a scoop of our macadamia ricotta and put it right in the middle, and that makes a wonderful combination because the focaccia bread has herbs and spices in it, and the ricotta is simple and quite delicious. And I will just give that a taste. It's so good. So I hope you love it as much as I do. Hodaya wants some. Here you go. Here. Hodaya likes it too. Right? Yum! He does like it. So that's the ricotta whipped cream. Excuse me, ricotta and macadamia ricotta cheese. And I'm Chef Rivka. This is my taste tester, Hodaya Ketrial. And we're here with Living Tree Community Foods. We hope you enjoyed this recipe and all of our recipes. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.